All right. Just before this gets started, I just want to say we had a little bit of an issue with the video and audio. Currently, I am filming on a T3i, so it makes it really hard to do continuous shots like this. This is a constant process, and we're currently working on it, and it won't happen again for the next episode. So. There is a small section during our podcast where the video does cut out because I could not find the spot for it to line up. It didn't present itself. So just enjoy our logo made by my wonderful girlfriend. And just enjoy this episode for what it can. It's really meant to be listened to. So please just enjoy. And welcome to the first episode of the BNA Podcast. My name is Aidan.
My name is Brayden.
And so just to start, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. So I am 18 years old. I currently work at Save On Foods. So that's just a little snippet.
Of course, like Aidan said, he is Aidan, and I am Brayden. I am a supervisor for Save On Foods. I'm 22 years of age, and I got a bit of a business background, accounting, communications, and law, and that's pretty much exactly what we're here to talk about. Yeah. It is fun, current events, law, business, virtually anything that you can talk about when it comes to those topics.
Yeah.
So,
I think it should be said that at least in this first episode, we are not taking a stance on anything that we talk about. We want to try and keep it as neutral as possible. So if something comes off as biased, that's just how it goes. But
we're here to have a discussion, talk about all different viewpoints. Again, I'm just a chooch. And, of course, Aidan is just a chooch, and we're here to talk about, worldly things and have our own kind of, opinions on it or discuss things and just question everything going on, because why not?
Yeah.
We're two guys that like to question way too much than we typically like to question or should question anyways.
Yeah. I think anything in the world can be put up for question.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like if it's out there, it should be questioned. I think that everything should be put on the table for discussion. Mm-hmm. I don't think that anything should just be limited completely.
Well, that's how we move forward.
Yeah.
That's how we that's how we evolve as a species. Is we look at something like farming. If you look in the prehistoric era or in the Roman era or anything like that, people go I don't like that. Yeah. Let's talk about this. Tom, why do you take your finger and poke a hole 5,000 times every season to drop one seed in it? Tom goes, I don't know. That's a good question. My dad showed me this. Yeah. Well, let's talk about this. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, from a simple conversation and discussion, we now have equipment that will turn that finger poking into, something that's less of a chore. Yeah. So overall, it's good to talk about these topics.
Yeah. So let's just talk about how we came up with this, because I think that should be important to...
You want to lead on
Sure.
That? Yeah.
So me and Brayden, often we work quite often together. He closes often, I close most of the time, so we end up closing together, and we often have these discussions exactly like we're doing right now, just in the warehouse or on the floor. We're like, hey, what'd you think about this? And then we just talk about it. So one day we were both just like, you know what? I want to start a podcast. You want to start a podcast. Why don't we make it happen? Yeah. So that's exactly what we've been doing. So we've been kind of putting the pieces together on this for a month. Would you say?
Yeah, I would say about a month. Yeah.
So that's just kind of where we've started, and now we're here doing our first episode.
And a little thing for you guys, for the people who know us very well, have heard us talking about this idea,
Yeah.
and we were supposed to do this quite a while ago, but
Yeah.
I'm in the midst of potentially buying a car and a whole bunch of other things,
Yeah.
and I've been pushing this off, so it's completely my fault. So for those of you who know us, I'm sorry.
Well, you know, it's just been a busy time. I mean, like I just finished graduating, so I'm officially
Adult.
yeah. Well, I'm not finished school yet, but I'm officially done. So that was kind of holding me up for the past month, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I also want to make one thing very, very, very clear. That I have been Aidan's mentor for the last couple of years. For those of you who know him very well, he used to have an extremely bad stutter. I have ridiculed him. I have beaten him down and built him back up to the point where he is a fully grown man that is able to grow facial hair and stutter 90% less.
That sounds like
That sounds so bad.
that sounds really bad. I've just beaten him and made him into a man.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
That's what my dad did.
And,
He didn't do a good job of it, but he did it.
Just let the record show that Brayden cannot grow facial hair.
No, I can't. I'm Italian. We can't do that.
Yeah, just the thin pencil mustache.
Yeah,
That's it.
like at the most, like a 10th grade hockey player. At the most, that's my level of facial hair.
That's like trying so hard.
Yeah, I
It's not
sometimes showed up to work and would take mascara over my upper lip and just fill in the gaps.
eyebrow filler.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
buy like a fake mustache. Come
It's
to work
crazy.
one day.
It's crazy.
You should do that.
Yeah, we should.
Like-
I should anyways.
yeah.
You don't have to.
I don't have to, but,
yeah.
but you should one day just show up with like one of those really thick fake mustaches.
Oh yeah.
And just like
I get ripped on so hard.
Oh, just pretend that it's not even there. Just like
Yeah, just,
you
hey,
have
what's
it.
up, guys?
Just, they're like, what the fuck is that on your face? And then it's like, oh, what do you mean? What are you
talking about?
I just
Yeah. I'll like come in, just, hey guys, what's going on?
yeah. What's going on?
What's up? What's happening? Sarah, you good? Aidan, you good? Kevin, you good? Good. They're going to look at me like, what is on your face? What is that
Paul's like,
caterpillar?
go home.
Yeah, just
go
go
home
home.
and shave. Don't.
Yeah, don't bring that here. Don't bring that 70s porn star look here. Don't do it.
Oh, did I tell you one time that I was shaving and I often like leave the mustache for last, right? Because
I think everyone does
It's
that.
it's the easiest to
Yeah.
to finish off, right?
Yeah.
And I this is like after during quarantine, I didn't shave at all, except for like down
didn't
here and like the cheeks. So I had like quite a big beard going on, and I was like, you know what? Start over. So I decided to shave it all off, and I left the mustache for last, right? And I was like, oh boy, this is like I wasn't sure if it was good or not. So I go out and I'm like, hey mom, look. She's like, Aidan, you look like a porn star. And I'm like,
You know what? I would
What?
take that reaction over my reaction any day. So I shaved my face. Of course, I
Yeah.
can't grow facial hair a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I decided, you know what? After growing it out for like 2 months of
Yeah.
COVID,
Yeah.
I'm going to shave and leave just the stash. Okay. I left my house and our boss, Kevin, said that I should be banned from every schoolyard in the country.
said
Just
that?
from, yeah. He looked at me. He was like, what are you doing? He's like, you look like you're on the blacklist. Like, get rid of that stuff. And I'm like, oh man, but it looks so good. No, it doesn't. And I looked at a picture. I'm like, no, it really didn't.
Yeah, I do feel like every Canadian man at some point should just have a mustache.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's such just like a Canadian thing.
Oh yeah.
You know?
During the winter time.
Yeah.
Face is cold.
Just
Well, I
got
guess-
the lip warmer.
Yeah, I guess it won't be cold anymore because we gotta wear masks.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
do we have to grow beards now?
Just wear a scarf everywhere.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Bring it up over my face.
Yeah.
Wind
You
chill,
look like
gone.
Well, then you look like some type of thief.
Yeah.
Or like,
Like a man of the night.
yeah. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. Just, hey guys, what's up? Just no.
No.
My wallet's my wallet. Thank you. It's
So
like,
you just look like that one character from Watch Dogs.
oh.
He's got the mask over with the scarf like blowing in the wind.
It's like, yeah, you're not incognito at all. Like, you look like a normal dude. It's in the middle of July.
And you're wearing a trench coat and a scarf
over your face while it blows mysteriously in the wind.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? It's stupid.
Oh, before... I should probably mention, BC right now, COVID-19, it is the least of our concerns. And
extremely.
Yeah, there's been zero new cases. No, that's not true. There's been no deaths, and there's 0 active cases in our region.
Yeah.
So most of the cases are either in the interior.
We're in the interior. Yeah.
They're in the valley. There's no active cases in the interior right now, so we have very little to worry about, and we already work together. So it's not really like,
and we're maintaining a distance
an extra
right now,
risk.
So we're fine.
It's not an extra risk for us to be doing this.
Yeah, plus we're healthy young males. I think we'll be fine.
I thought I should just like put that out of the way already, because I can see at least one being like, why are you not social distancing?
And why aren't you wearing a mask?
Yeah, so
I've seen this guy in a muscle shirt. I don't need a mask.
Yeah,
I need glasses.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. So yeah, BC is right now the least hardest hit province in Canada. So, well, I mean, other than like Prince Edward Island. And like,
I think Saskatchewan and Manitoba have very, very low cases due to how rural the areas are.
So like of the popular provinces, that sounds really bad. Like that sounds really like.
I won't disagree. I won't disagree. That's why we have a sunshine tax. Yeah. That's actually a real thing, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. So when it comes to like applying for the RCMP or anything like that, they have this clause where if you're from BC, you can actually technically stay within BC because of how used to the sunshine tax we are. Because typically products are a lot more expensive out here. Margins are higher. Housing market's higher. Just overall everything's more expensive, and that's why they look at it and say, well, that's the sunshine tax. Because we have the PST, the GST, and a few years ago we also had the HST. And you look at provinces like Alberta. I love Alberta, but it's cold as hell out there. It's cheap out there, and they only have a 6% tax. So like, we're pretty expensive.
Whereas we're double.
Yeah, but like then again, if you're from the Okanagan, you know why.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah,
it's warm.
That's a really nice place to live.
It's a little rainy today, and I think it's like 20 out right now.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah, like they talk about like, oh, Vancouver is such a good place to live. It's like, I mean,
it's nice.
Vancouver's nice. It's a nice place to live.
It's expensive.
But Vancouver to the Okanagan is what UBC is to OC.
Oh yeah, that's a big jump. Yeah.
That's like it's underrated. It's like really underrated. It's still good. It's great. They're both of equal value. But one is the name. Yeah. Like, all you go to live in Vancouver for is the name, to say, I live in Vancouver.
So, I'm actually part of this group. It's called Potential Beings, and a lot of them, like, it's personal training and, like, fitness and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of them are in the States.
Yeah.
And there's a few from, like, Vancouver and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And when I mentioned when I was from the Okanagan area, Vernon, Kelowna, people go, like, what's that? Is that by Vancouver?
Yeah.
No. Well, kind of. It's like 7-8 hours away, maybe at the most, depending on how slow you drive. But overall, it's not. But
it takes you 8 hours to drive to Vancouver.
I don't know, depending on how slow you are. If you're cautious of like weather conditions.
Fair enough.
Depending if you take Kamloops or Kelowna.
8 hours at the max.
Yeah.
The max.
Yeah.
Max.
That's like you're pushing it. Like, what are you doing, Grandma?
Like I can get down there in 4 hours.
I think I've gotten there in like 4.5, 5 hours.
Really?
And I was like clipping pretty hard, and I stopped for food.
Yeah.
But overall, like, I would consider the Okanagan Thompson area would be kind of closer towards like a California of Canada.
It's the California of Canada.
Yeah, well, like, come on, everyone wants to go to California. Like LA, you got the beaches.
Fair enough.
The honeys and the bunnies.
But it's only in the summer months.
We have pretty bad winters.
Like only like spring to summer is when it's dubbed the California of Canada.
Like GTFO come September, 100%.
Yeah, no.
Like we'll go end of September, early October. Yeah. I remember I went out on Halloween last year. I was dressed up like a slutty cop, so I had like the.
You went on Halloween?
Yeah. So I went to.
I didn't even go out for Halloween.
So I went to Sapphire and I'm wearing like short shorts, cut off, police uniform, and it snowed. And
nice.
The weather was like, dude, it's gonna be fine.
My innocent mind went straight to you going around trick or treating.
Oh God, no. No. What? Oh, come on.
That mental image of just
that's creepy.
You showing up with this like really tight cop outfit. You're like
trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
Be like, get out of here. How old are you? You're old. You're too old. You shouldn't even have to ask that question. I actually had that like on Halloween, so like I was pretty tuned up, and I went home and I crashed for a bit, and then I got a.
Yeah.
What the hell? It's like I looked at it, it's like 1:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, okay. I go downstairs. I'm like very like paranoid, so I open up the door and there's like 4 like 20-year-olds, maybe probably a little bit more. We'll peg them at like an even 22.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking at like this like array of boys and girls, men and women. Yeah. And I'm like, what do you want? They're like, trick or treat, bro. Like the guy's voice was deeper than my voice, and I'm like, how old are you? And he's like, come on, bro. You got that candy, don't you? And I'm like, that sounds really creepy. No, I don't. And I like just closed the door. Yeah. Woke up, pumpkins were all smashed up. I'm like, yeah, figured. Don't come around at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. If you're going to trick or treat and you're too old for it, do like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
7 or 8. It's funny.
Do it early.
Yeah. Before the kids come out.
Yeah, before the kids. Then it's not weird.
If you get a Tootsie Roll, great. If you don't, you're too old.
Don't get all mad and smash up some dude's pumpkins.
Yeah, like that took a long time for me to carve out pumpkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like 4 of them.
Yeah.
Tough stuff.
Dude, this Halloween, I was carving a pumpkin and I had the most flexible knife ever. Like it was so hard to use because like I would try to cut and it would just like bend, and it was like I had to be exactly straight on my cuts. So it was just like,
what kind of blade type was it?
I don't know. It was like a really thin like saw.
Yeah. It
was like one of those like mini saws.
Like was it like widely serrated or thinly serrated?
Wide.
Okay.
But like it was really thin metal. Mm-hmm. I think it was meant for like bread to bend, but like yeah, like it was meant to not cut pumpkins. That's for sure. So it was like it. To be fair though, it did help a lot on like the eyes. Yeah. On the corners, because it was so flexible, I could just bend it right around. Yeah. But the straight cuts, man, that was the difficult one.
I'm a blade junkie. I'm not gonna lie. Like I actually for a little bit there, like I was collecting like pocket knives, and like I wouldn't look at certain things if it didn't have a certain blade type. Really? And like certain blade types are like super good, and like they're very anti-corrosive.
Oh, you were like the blind snob of
I'm like, was that an S35V? And
that's not a D2 steel.
That must be really hard to sharpen. Like I was that guy. Like I was buying kitchenware and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, that's not a good grade steel. That's not a good grade steel. The girl I was dating at the time, she was like, I bought this like kitchen set at Walmart. I'm like, that's gonna rust out in like 3 weeks, guaranteed. Yeah, it did. She had to throw out the whole thing. She's like, I don't like the way it looks. I'm like, yeah, well, told you. You gotta pay a little bit more. Like those like Japanese knives. Yeah. Oh my god, like singular.
Those ones are good. I have a whole book upstairs just dedicated to Japanese knives. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got it this past Christmas. Yeah. My aunt got it for me because I was like, I really like knives. Yeah. And she was like, this is a good book. Yeah. And it is. Like, it talks about, like, it's like books of, like, all these Japanese knife makers. Yeah. And they're talking about, like, their process and like how they go about making them, and they all like hand make all of their knives stuff.
Yeah, there's like thousands of folds that they do. Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's just it's a cool book. Yeah, but man, those Japanese knives are so expensive.
Oh, they are
like $300 for one knife. Yeah, it's like, what?
Like, could you imagine like making that though? Like how like long that took for that singular knife? They're like, oh yeah, great, $300 right there.
Oh, but like, to be fair, if you made knives, you would never have to buy any type of kitchenware again. No. Like, you're like, I can make it for way cheaper. Like,
Yeah.
like there's a...
Yeah, if you buy in bulk, like steel companies, they're like, yeah, okay, take this.
Yeah.
Great. And then you're just like, yeah, sweet. And then it's just a matter of like how good you are.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a matter of product anymore. It's a matter of skill.
Like the right tools as well.
Yeah.
Like that's the other problem is like if you're getting into it, the cost up front, you have to buy probably a welder.
Yeah.
Probably like some oxyacetylene like tanks plus a gas torch.
Yeah.
What I forget what
like
they're
you would
called.
have to like definitely buy like certain oil types too to dunk it to like cool down the blade temperature, but not the core temp.
Just to the perfect amount.
And depending on like what color you want,
and that oil probably costs like as much as
expensive.
the machines.
It's expensive stuff. That's why you see like the same bucket in almost every single like welding videos.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to buy any more. I'm good.
Yeah. This cost me $200.
Yeah, I'm sticking with this one until I can't use it anymore.
Dude, it's like epoxy.
It is.
Like epoxy, like that desk that I built.
Yeah.
Was I used epoxy in it. That thing cost me like $120.
Oh yeah.
To fill that.
Oh yeah.
For just the epoxy.
I made a wooden box for underneath my bed. Okay, and I used epoxy, and that cost me pretty much the same, and it was for a box.
Yeah. But
Stupid.
But the epoxy resin is so cool though.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
I did a blue and purple dye. So like I started with blue and purple, and then I just worked it in to the middle. So it kind of just flowed, and then in the middle it just like mixed in with each other.
Around, yeah.
So
okay.
So I like it at least. Yeah. And it's a decent desk. Right?
I just went with like a really dark brown. I'm like, I don't like the way this looks. I'm gonna like tint it a little bit. Yeah. Smeared it. It's great.
Yeah, but man, the epoxy resin is so much money.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's too much.
It's really useful though.
Yeah.
Like that one that I used was a 1-to-1 ratio. So it was literally just pump, done.
So like, fun fact. Yeah. Sorry to completely derail from this interesting conversation about wood. So I was reading up on airlines the other night, right? Yeah. And you know how like you would look at it like a 747 or anything like that, and it would be like Virgin, and you know they would have like party lights in there and all that kind of stuff, and you would be like, wow, that must be like Virgin must have spent say like $70 billion on like their flights, like their certain amount of planes. It's a lease. So the whole company is based around leasing products.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That is crazy.
I'm like, I would have thought that, you know, a majority, if not the main ones, like say WestJet, Air Canada, that all of their planes and products are owned. Yeah. They're not. They're all leased.
What?
Yeah. So even during COVID, they're still paying on that lease.
Oh, so is that why they have so much debt?
Yeah. Is that they're still accumulating so much debt due to the fact that they're still paying a lease. Yeah. It's nuts. Like, that's crazy. Like, why? It blows my mind. Like, I don't know. For me, if I was a airline business owner, I'd be buying my products. Yeah. And during something like this, I'd be like, okay, well, we don't have to pay for anything. We're good.
Yeah. All of these are. Let's just take all of them.
Oh, you got a lot of stuff on there. Buddy.
I know. That drive right there is a 2 terabyte drive.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so useful. Like it's so useful to use.
Yeah.
Cause it's 2 terabytes, right?
Yeah.
But it's also USB-C.
Oh, really?
So I can edit, like, so for those of you that don't know, Premiere Projects, which is what I use to edit a lot of my short films, and that's what I use to edit, it doesn't upload the way it works is when you import the files into the program, it doesn't import it onto the project. It imports the route. So the files stay in the same place that you put them, but it's not attached to the project itself. So if you move those files to somewhere else, the files are now lost on your program. But with a USB-C, what's useful is I can edit directly off that drive. So all of my projects are on that drive, and all of my video files are also on that drive. And because it's so fast, I can edit directly on that drive instead of, if I was using a normal hard drive, I would have to import over to the computer hard drive and then edit. But it makes it useful with that because I can edit directly off the drive. So I like that. And it's nice because that computer is only 128 gigs of storage, which is nowhere near enough for like a decent chunk of movie files, right? Mm-hmm. So because of that, I edit off the 2 terabyte drive because it makes it so much easier.
And back to English.
Yeah.
As you can tell so far, Aidan here is computer savvy, and I'm a meathead.
Well,
that's how we're operating. So if you have any questions about editing and all that kind of stuff, Aidan is definitely a go-to guy.
But I don't know how to do any type of projection.
Yeah.
And you do.
A little bit.
Like that's a decent skill to have.
Yeah. Like I can definitely like look at margins and look at trend charts and like go from there. But like I would say my main skill, aside from like a little bit of business admin,
being a huge nerd.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But like definitely meathead comes first. It's like definitely like business savvy, meathead, nerd. It's like
in that exact order.
In that exact order.
Okay. Got
Mainly
it.
because like my main hobby is picking up heavy things and then putting them back down, and then repeating the process until I feel pain, and then I might continue the process a little bit more after that, and then stopping for the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my main thing.
And then at work, you pick things up to put them back down.
Exactly. and I show people like, hey, this is what a man can do.
This is how to properly lift objects.
If you're looking at me to like properly lift stuff at work, don't. I'm like the most unsafe human being ever. I'm like, I can climb that, and I will hold something very heavy, and then swing it above my head to put it there. Everyone's like, don't do that. Don't do it.
In fact, I remember one time, I'm like on the floor. I come back, and I turn the corner, and you're on our pallet splitter.
Yeah.
You're standing on the bars, holding with one hand, and you have like a merchandising rack on the other hand, and you're like, ah! You throw it, and it lands like on the thing sideways, and you're like, oh, it's not the right way up. So you climb the pallet splitter, get on top of like the shelving, and you're like, okay, and then you're looking down. I'm like, Brayden, don't jump.
And it's like a 10-foot drop.
Yeah, Brayden, don't jump. And you're like, I'm gonna do it.
And I did it.
And you did it. You landed straight on a pallet, and I think you almost broke one of the boards.
I think it did crack, actually.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, because there was no way that thing did not crack. Because at the time I was like 215 pounds. And when I jumped on it, I'm pretty sure I cracked it.
Yeah.
I'm more than positive it cracked. Yeah. But it got up there.
Oh, man.
Everyone was impressed.
Yeah.
It got up there and no one died.
Yeah. There's also the non-take carrot incident with you and Luke. Do you not remember that one?
No.
Oh.
I do a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah, you do. You really do.
I really do.
Like a lot. A lot of that we can't say on here as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
can't give away all my stuff.
Yeah, you can't get fired beforehand.
Yeah, no. This is a side hustle.
Yeah. But oh man. What was that one story that one time that you had with like that scammer that came in?
Oh, was it with the Nicorette?
I think so, yeah.
So like this guy came in and he was like hassling one of like the younger cashiers.
Yeah.
And like that's one thing that I typically really can't tolerate is like there's like a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
It's like her first job.
Yeah.
And she's standing there and she's like 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And she's like, hi. Like how can you be mad at that,
Yeah.
right? She's just a kid doing her job. So anyways, this complete chooch, and for those who don't know what chooch is Italian slang for jerk off. So this chooch comes in, and he's like giving this girl a hassle because he's trying to return a $78 product that he never purchased in our store. The reason why I know that is because I do the inventory, and for the last 8 months, we have not sold the same 3 on the shelf.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way. And I checked like the sales in the past. I'm like, we haven't sold one since like last January.
Yeah.
And this is like June, July.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So anyways, I go up there and I'm like, hey man, like what's the issue? And he's like, my grandmother thought that this was a pack of gum. And I'm like look, like I get it. My grandmother's old. She's also like German. And sometimes English doesn't really quite get through to her. She would know that, $80 for a pack of gum is definitely not a pack of gum. So he was like, no, she bought it here. I'm like, well, do you have her, member card? And he was like, no. Does she have a phone number? No. Do you have her receipt? No. And I'm like, what do you have other than this empty box of Nicorette?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, this is all I got. And then prior to that, I looked at the shelf and we had 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's weird. So as I'm dealing with him, I'm looking up the sales and we still haven't sold one. So this chooch goes up to the shelf, takes the Nicorette out of the package, and then comes and returns it as if his grandmother bought it and then kept all the Nicorette for herself. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't fucking work like that. I'm like, but that product can stay with me because you stole that. And he's like, what? Yeah. How dare you accuse me of this? And I'm like, well, I got enough evidence and you on camera basically stealing it in front of us so we can go one or two ways. You can either go home, reevaluate your life, and then come back and purchase things like a normal person, or we can call the cops. Like, it's up to you. Like, there's no need for me to be aggressive because I'm holding all the power. Like, either way, I could call the cops and be on the right side. So I'm like, look, man, like I don't care what you want to do. I just don't want trouble, especially because you're giving this little girl a hassle. I'm like, I could be an asshole right now, but I'm not. So you have 1 or 2 options. And he's like, well, what's the third? And I'm like, well, I guess we'll have to find out. I'm like, this guy wants to fight. I'm like, no. And I'm like, please don't fight me. I don't feel like fighting. And then he was like, okay, fine. And then he puts it on the thing, the treadmill, whatever. And I'm like, and the product too. He's like, I don't have it. I'm like, yeah, you do. He's like, I don't have it. I'm like, you do. Don't lie to me. We're already this far. Don't lie to me. And he actually pulled it out and he put it there. And he's like, I'm going to call your boss tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, please do. Here's the phone number. This is my name. Please tell him what we had talked about this night, just in case, if you forget tomorrow. And he calls back tomorrow, and he dealt with one of the bosses, and she was like, what is this? What is this? What are you doing here? And then he was like, yeah, I'm okay. It was just like, you admit defeat over the phone to her, but yet wouldn't admit defeat to me. I don't know why. And he still tried to get something at the end of it.
That's just like...
It's ignorance and stupidity.
That's just people just don't know when to quit. Especially when they know that they're in the wrong.
Oh yeah. People are...
They're just like, I'm not going to quit until I have exhausted every last one of my resources.
And he did.
To try and win.
And he did.
Yeah.
Because he's done.
Yeah. Oh man. It's just like, I'd like to return this. Do you have receipt? No. Do you have any type of proof? No. And I want a cash return. Doesn't work like that.
That was another thing. It was a cash return, but she made a debit purchase, supposedly.
Really?
Yeah, that was the story that he ran with.
And it's like worst case scenario, if he did just run off with it, we're insured for that kind of stuff. So it's like,
we're fine.
We can make it back, no problem.
Plus, Nicorette doesn't have a good margin on it at all. Like the product itself is so expensive that the margin, I think we're making like 15%. So, if you're wondering why it keeps cutting, my camera is stupid, and it only has about a 30-minute time limit for the recording. Why?
I don't know. So it's very, very annoying, and hopefully I'll getting a new camera so that doesn't happen in the future. But yeah.
All right.
Back to you.
Back to me. Let's go back to you. I was talking for the last little bit.
Oh yeah.
So Aidan, how do you feel about how things are going after? Well, I shouldn't say after COVID. COVID's still going on.
Yeah.
But like post phase 2.
Like what aspect of it?
Like economically, or with life, or just in general. Like, what are your feelings towards it coming out?
I mean, I think economically, I think they are being a little bit too cautious.
Yeah.
I think that they could open up a little bit sooner. I mean, like with our situations, I mean, I think it really should depend on, like it should be like focused, like reopening. Like in the interior, we have 0 active cases.
Yeah. Right.
The numbers are going down steadily for the past month and a half, right? So it's like, you know, like I think the interior can open up quicker. The coast, not so much, right? So it's this. I think that it should be like very, very specific on what can open up and where. I mean, with stuff like companies that have stores spanning across multiple, I mean, that's a little bit different. But like local businesses, I think can open up a lot sooner, especially since they need the help of opening up sooner.
Yeah.
Right? Like small businesses are more difficult to run as it is, but having this pandemic hit is a huge blow for a lot of different people.
Yeah.
So
I agree. It's quite shocking to me. So my situation, my dad being a ex-cancer patient and so on and so forth. Like, of course, I have to be cautious with it because, like, I don't want to be like a host where it's just like living off of me, but my immune system's keeping it at bay and then potentially infecting him. Yeah. So I was very cautious around the whole thing. But you look at even with like grocery retailers, right? Their limit on average is 120 people in one building. Yeah. Yet in most places you're not allowed to have more than 5. Yeah. How does that make sense? Yeah. It makes no sense. Yeah. People would say, probably square footage. Yeah. I get that. Yeah. But in actuality, you got 150 people rubbing shoulders, yet you can't sit 4 or 5 feet away in a restaurant. Yeah. I mean, the hard part for us is I mean, if you know us, our store is very, very packed. It's very, very crowded, very small, close together. The problem is we're using quite literally every square footage that we can for different things. The problem with that is it then makes everyone go in one direction and crams everyone in one spot. So even if we're allowed, like hypothetically, if we were only allowed 10 people in our store, right, they would still be crowded because they're all going in one direction, they're all in one area, and there's only a very small actual area that they can go. Yeah. So it's not like the numbers at this point don't matter because they're still being crammed into small situations. Yeah, exactly. Like you look at a lot of like big corporations that are going off of the Aero system, which is great. Yeah. They're doing what they can. Yeah. But if 8 people need chicken, everyone's going to go to chicken. Yeah. Or beef or whatever. And what's right beside beef? It's chicken. Yeah. So you got your 8 to 10 customers that you're only allowing in one store in one building at a time. They're all going for that one product or a product that is close by other products. And then they're all, because of the Aero system, all being filtered through, like you said, like a tunnel. So no matter what, you're not escaping people at all.
Or even worse, milk. Yeah. Milk is one of the fastest selling products in a grocery store. Yeah. So
it's nuts.
So
it's stupid.
Like on average, like what? Like just from experience alone, I would say like 7 out of 10 grocery orders I deal with have milk in them, right? Like it's not like they're a product that everyone's just not going for.
It's like no, that's a COVID danger zone over there. I'm not going to buy milk today.
Like from what I've seen, like 70% of people go for the milk. Yeah. So it's like And some people have orders that is just milk.
Yeah.
Because they forgot it.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
Or like, for me, it was very unfair that, you know, we made a lot of local businesses, like the mom and pa's closed down, yet, you know, major retailers were allowed to be open.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? No, not really. It's like, why does mom and pa, with a margin average of, say, 15 to 20% running a store, why are they told, hey, you guys got to close up shop?
Yeah.
Your livelihood is gone.
Yeah.
And then now you look at someone else, major corporation, Walmart, Superstore, whatever, where margin average, on average, about 60 to 70%, depending on the product, they're allowed to be open with a higher capacity rate.
Yeah.
You know, it just overall, like, it's very unfortunate of what happened.
Yeah.
And then when you look at it, like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate what the nurses do, the doctors, policemen, firefighters, you know, my heart really goes out to them being on the front line dealing with all of this. Whether, you know, the perps or the unfortunate victims or, you know, the clients or people in the hospital have COVID or not, they're dealing with these people.
Yeah.
And what really upset me was when people said essential. Yes, these services are essential, but if you're to look at an economic standpoint, everyone's essential to our economy.
Yeah.
You know, we need that little lemonade stand for 69 cents on your local block because, you know, little Susie wants to start making a little bit of money at 8 years old to go buy her favorite toy. Well, that favorite toy, you know, escalates to so much more. You know, she's purchasing, she's buying, they're having to order, inventory, all that kind of stuff. So when we look at something that, like, such a minuscule thing like that, it's not a big deal. The Barbie doll can wait. She doesn't need that right now. It's true. But in the grand scheme of things, small purchases, little purchases, stores ordering this product, stores ordering that product, it's essential to our economy.
All right. Okay.
Back.
Battery died. We are back.
Hey, you know what? First episode, 4 problems, not that bad.
Yeah. Especially since, you know,
it's our first go at it.
Yeah. Economy.
Yeah. Small purchases end up escalating to a lot of big purchases. Like, it's just really unfortunate that overall some people are out of work. Now, to say if this is completely all bad, I would not say that at all. There's a lot of upside. Like we were talking actually earlier before we turned the camera on. You know, Bank of America actually looks after the funds of about half of the United States. This is not a Canadian study. This is an American study that actually, on average, Americans actually have saved 30 to 40% of their actual earnings. Which is phenomenal because on average in prior years, people on average only like save, you know, 5 to 10%. Millennials are actually worse, and in Canada we are extremely worse than the Americans, depending on, of course, where you live and what you do. So, you know, the average millennial probably doesn't have, you know, say $3,000 to their name. You know, if you're doing it smart, maybe like 10, depending on, of course, what you do, where you are, and so on and so forth. But with this whole, you know, COVID-19 pandemic, world lockdown, shutdown, what do? You don't really do anything. You start looking at these purchases that are luxurious, new hoodies, new sweaters, new shoes, new cars, new whatever. I sound like a hypocrite saying new cars. But you look at all these worldly purchases that people have been doing on a day-to-day basis, fueling our economy, is now being saved and stored in their own account. People, whether this happens or not, might come out of this and be like, I don't need to buy this. I don't need to buy this. So current status on an individual level, this is great. You know, my little brother, he's the minimum wage guy, all that kind of stuff. He's saved up like $7,000 during this whole pandemic. That's phenomenal, right? After this, will he have spending habits? Will he finally be like, yes, I'm going to take this $7,000 and go filter it into our economy? Am I going to go invest? Am I going to do all this stuff? Probably not. He's going to be like, wow, I have $7,000 to do whatever I want. What happens if I have 10? What happens if I have 15? And then he's going to start cherry picking his purchases. Which, yes, as an individual standpoint, this is perfect. But on an economical standpoint, we don't want you to have money. To a degree. You can't be completely broke and fill the economy that way, but you still have to have, you know, added purchases.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I bought a lot of stuff during the
Oh, I did too.
During the
Oh, I did too.
Like I bought so many things, like the tripod that's currently being filmed on, the monitor that we're currently watching, the microphone, and the whole like everything but the camera basically right here I bought during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then what else did I get? I got a crap ton of new clothes.
Yeah.
Right? Tons of those.
Nice shirt, by the way. Is that new?
Yeah, it is.
That's good.
I bought this hat. No, like I bought a ton of stuff, and I don't even know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just like, I was like, I just need to buy stuff, right? Like, and I mean, I don't know. I bought a lightsaber too. Yeah. No,
I'm a nerd. I love that.
joke.
I actually love that though. So the next episode, we should really talk to Aidan about his fashion sense. Oh my god. No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
This is actually so dope.
I know. Comes with a blade. You put it in there.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna paint it or just keep it chrome?
I'll just keep it chrome.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Like I'm the worst when it comes to like impulse buying.
Yeah.
Like literally the worst.
You know what I made purchases on? Schooling.
Yeah.
Right? Schooling. I've made higher car payments, so I'm paying off my car even quicker. New clothes. How to get new clothes.
Yeah.
And weightlifting equipment. I spent money
Yeah.
during this. I didn't save at all because we were working the whole time. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to reward myself after a 60-hour work week. I don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna treat myself. Make me feel pretty.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I am literally like that lightsaber impulse buy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way that you planned for that.
It was May the 4th, and they had like 25% off on their website. I was like, bye.
Yeah. My God.
So
I like that actually. To be honest, I'm a little jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got that one. Oh man, it took like a month to get here though.
Yeah.
Like, cause it took about 3 weeks for them to actually ship it.
Yeah.
And then they shipped it, and then because of its irregular size, there was duties on it that I didn't pay, so I now have to pay duties. It was only like $12, but like still,
whatever.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's like,
see, while you were doing that, I was going to like local restaurants.
Yeah.
And like I'd walk in and be like, "Hey guys, I'll order a minimum of $20 of this and this and this," and like some people were actually like super thankful. They're like,
yeah,
finally some revenue.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to throw all this product out.
Yeah.
So I think it was extremely important to like definitely help out our local mom and pop places, but at the same time it was so difficult because they all closed out.
Yeah.
Majority closed out.
Well, I actually didn't order takeout as much as I thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think in the 2.5 months that BC at least was shut down, I only got takeout once.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like before this, right? It's like I would get takeout like at least twice a month.
Yeah, quite
right?
often, yeah.
So it's just like, it's like all of a sudden I'm not. It's like, well, what happened?
It was perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like
I got fat though.
Like I've wanted to help out local businesses, but at the same time there's a pandemic going on, so it's kind of like that hive mind, where it's like everyone's telling you that this pandemic is bad, and you have to be very careful, but at the same time you want to help out your local businesses. So I was like, I had that kind of like, what do I do for like 2.5 months. Now it's a bit better. Like the restaurants are starting to open up a little bit more, and
I'm excited. I need a gourmet burger.
I frequently visit like La Solabella and the Greek House.
Yeah, that's good.
Those two are like, they're both locally owned.
Oh, phenomenal people
right?
too.
I know the owners of the La Solabella as well. Yeah. So they're my family friends, my girlfriend. So yeah. But
how's that going, by the way?
It's going good.
Yeah,
it's going great.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Importer for yet?
No.
She won't watch this.
Oh yeah, she will.
It's fine.
she won't get this far.
It's okay. I got like 4 girlfriends on the go, and they're all going to watch this. So I'm sorry.
just apologies in advance.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. I do.
Brayden's taken by multiple women right now.
I wouldn't say taken. Just like temporarily occupied. You know, I'm Germany right now.
You like
back in like World War.
You like pulled up to the curb, but you didn't park. That's. Yeah.
I'm like, remember in history class where like we talk about like post World War II, where like Germany was like literally split up between like 4 countries.
Yeah.
This guy.
That's you.
Right here. Yeah.
That's you. How do you manage your time?
It's tough.
Okay, this guy's literally like the busiest guy that I know.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I took so much to get here.
he goes to the gym every single day.
Yeah.
He works a lot, right? He's doing this. He's also trying to apply for a part-time job.
Yeah.
He's seeing multiple women at the same, and he goes clubbing like, well, the clubs are closed now, but like when they were open, he would go like 4 times a week.
Nah, I wouldn't go that much.
Well,
like twice a month maybe. It's
twice
expensive.
A month?
Yeah, it's expensive. I go out with girls a lot to like bars or pubs or lounges.
Yeah.
I'm more of a lounge guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, depending on the objective.
You just like to chill.
Yeah, depending on the objective of it though. Like for those of you in my age category, not so much you just yet, probably you next year this time. When you look at it, it's just like, what are you doing when you go out?
Yeah.
Are you going out and meet people?
Yeah.
Don't go to a lounge. It's kind of creepy. Don't go to a pub. That's even creepier. You can't sit at one table, eat your Reuben, have a pint of beer, and then be like, they're cute. I'm gonna go sit over there and talk to them. You can't do that.
Yeah. It's
you
weird.
can't do that.
It's weird.
Walk up. I'm gonna interrupt your meal. I'm just some random guy trying to get your phone number. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So like it's all about the environment and what you're going out to do. Like that, there's some planning into it.
Yeah.
But currently, my life, for those of you who don't know, like Aidan said, I work a lot. I work on average. I work out on average about 2.5 hours a day, sometimes even 3 hours, and that's comprised of cardio, bodybuilding, isolation movements. Stimulation, all that kind of stuff when it comes to certain like exercises and what you're trying to grow, the frequency of what you want to grow, whether it's a push day or a chest day or a tricep day. And then also I am a volunteer for the city of Vernon, so I do that about 8 hours a week to potentially even more. I also teach little kids how to bike ride, and I also started I also started my own personal training thing on the side of that too. So
this now.
Yeah, and this now, so I have like probably about 4 clients.
What does your average day look like?
It's a lot.
What time do you get up? What time do you go to bed?
So I'm on vacation right now, so it's like whatever I feel like.
Yeah.
But typically on a work day, I'm up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't go to bed until about say 10 or 11 o'clock at night. 9:30 to 6, 9 to 5:30, 9 to 7, depending on how long the workday is, and then I go to the gym. I don't leave the gym until about like 9:30 at night, 10 o'clock at night, depending on what I'm working out, or who's there, and who I'm talking with. Setting up programs sometimes at night, like I'm sitting there just typing away, kind of deal. Just like, this is what you want to work out, Tommy. You don't want to be fat, so this is what we're going to do. Stop eating that. Get that cheeseburger out of your mouth. And then, of course, like depending on who I'm seeing at the time, has to take in consideration. I'm a very busy guy too, so relationships sometimes take a really, really, really far back seat. If I was driving a Honda Odyssey minivan, it's in the back seat. It's in the trunk actually. Sometimes even on a trailer. So like a lot of stuff is on the back seat, on the back burner. That's typically me. When I can, I like to nerd out though.
All right, 5th pause of the day.
Yeah, it's all good. We're having fun.
Yeah,
we're talking. We're connecting.
Hey, just going back on one thing that we said previously. I mean, we're both grocery store workers, right?
Worker, manager.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay, we both work at a grocery store.
Yeah.
And we've definitely been seeing some hypocrisy come up in the past few months. Like, because pre-pandemic, everyone was like, oh, it's a dead end job. You're never gonna get anywhere, right? It's like same thing with like McDonald's or like Subway. Oh, you're just gonna be flipping burgers for the rest of your life, right? And then it's like it's now they're like, oh, we have so much respect for you, and it's
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to come off as like some guy that's like, oh, we deserve praise, but like it's just that I don't like hypocrisy, right? Like that's one of the
stick
things
to one
that,
thing. If your opinion is this, stick to it.
Like don't change your opinion when someone else's opinion changes, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, it comes down to that basic human nature. I'm not gonna ask until I need it, right? So when you look at, say situations like Italy, of course, like it got so bad to the point where only one person was allowed to work, to like shop in a grocery store at a time. You look at something like that, and then you look over in Canada where it wasn't as bad. It's just like, wow, things could be worse. We're going to definitely make sure that you guys feel special because you guys, like, we need you right now. Until they don't need us, then it's like, right? Excuse me. Carries another position where it's just like, oh, you wipe ass. What else do you do? Now it's just like you're a healthcare worker, period. You're praised. No, it's if you're going to take a stance against something, career, political view, legislation, whatever, you got to stand by it. It's just you can't go back on it.
It's like the thing that I don't like the most is whether it's dumb luck or inherited fortune. Most of the people that say these types of things towards like us in particular and retail people is they've never worked a day of retail in their life.
It's brutal. Yeah.
So it's just, again, whether it's sheer dumb luck that they never got into that or inherited fortune so they never had to work in a job like that, it's very clear that they've never dealt with it.
Well, like even someone such as myself, like I'm going to be very open with my wage. Being 22 years old, I make almost pretty much actually on the dime of $26.50 an hour. For someone my age doing what I do, that's pretty decent, right? So I got into a confrontation with somebody. It was a customer. Okay, I was off duty. I was actually outside. I just forgot a spare pair of clothes, so I'm still wearing my uniform. And some guy was like, "Hey, minimum wage, get over here." And I like looked at him like, "Hey, man, that was actually kind of rude. Like, you don't need to be talking to anybody like that, let alone someone like myself." And he was like, "Oh, sorry, you're a grocery store manager. What, you make like 16 an hour instead of 15?" I'm like, no, I actually make almost $30 an hour. And the guy was so dumbfounded that I said something like that because he doesn't know what he's talking about. If you don't know who you're talking to and you have this preconceived notion of everyone that does this, it's getting paid this. You're going in there like an idiot. You're going to get put on blast. And you know what? In my opinion, you kind of deserve to be put on blast like that. Like, we probably will once we upload this. But that's fine. We're accepting it.
That's absolutely fine. Like, because that is an opposing opinion. Right? So as much as some people may see it as like, oh, they're just haters, right? That's an opinion that still deserves to be heard. Whether we agree with it or not.
And you gotta look at their situation too. Like, are they a minimum wage worker doing something else? Are they digging holes for a little bit of minimum wage? We don't know. I'm not gonna judge them because their life is probably a lot sadder than mine. Mine's not sad at all. Theirs probably is. You look at someone like, for example, if you're at the bar and you see that guy over there, and he's talking to all these different girls, and then everyone's like, oh, he's a player, he's a man whore. Maybe he's just looking for love. Maybe he's just a sad, lonely dude, and he's actually putting himself in that position to look for something or to talk to these girls. And yet, what are you doing? You're sitting there with your boy or boys, drinking a beer, wishing you were talking to the same girls he's talking to. So it's all about perception and like what that person's going through at that time.
I mean, one thing that I found is I don't think I've ever experienced like backlash at my work from someone who is either currently or formerly in retail, because they know exactly what it's like.
Actually, there are some that do that.
There are some?
Yeah, they're the worst to deal with.
Really?
There's one person, I won't name them on this podcast, but they come in and then they think that they're top shit and they know what they're doing and this is how things work. It's like, no, sweetheart, we fired you for theft 3 years ago. Why are you coming here and telling us what we need to do when you were fired for something 3 years ago when policies were vastly different? And yet you're coming in here saying, "Oh, we're doing a shitty job." It's like, no.
It's just like,
go back to McDonald's.
It's like there are some like that, but I haven't dealt with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mind you, you're a manager, so you deal with a lot more customer service than I do.
It gets ridiculous sometimes.
But it's like I like if I'm at the till and there's like someone that's so nice, like, and they're younger. Instantly I think, oh, they've worked in retail before.
Oh, 100%.
Because it's like the difference that just being in a job like that, even for a couple months, is mind blowing to some people. Look,
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy for some people.
But like, there was one temp that I once worked with, and we were talking about it, and he was like almost like he was just ready to go back to his job, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
He's like, man, I didn't realize that like retail was a difficult job to deal with mentally. And I was like, well, yeah, like customers are assholes, right? There are some real bad people that you have to deal with. And it's like, and you know, like, no one prepares you for that. No manager ever told me when I was getting hired.
And no situation's the same either. You know, when it comes to stuff, like I've dealt with stuff with my time with the city and all that kind of stuff, and it's crazy on how, like, they would give you a generalized topic. This is what you might get complaints about. Okay, sweet. That's how you handle it. But you'll never get that scripted complaint ever in your life. You'll never see it. You'll see variations of it. But, you know, people come in either very hostile, very docile, whatever. They might come in and say, "Hey, man, what's going on with this?" And you're like, "Oh, well, this and this." And they say, "Okay, thanks." And then they leave. Then all of a sudden Karen shows up, loses her mind, throws stuff at you, yells at you
for a minor complaint,
belittles you, and then you find out the complaint is because she bought, you know, a product that might be faulty for whatever reason, or she dropped it outside. Really? You had to belittle me as a human being
for something that was your fault.
For something your fault, or whether it was a manufacturing fault, or maybe it was a mislabeling, or whatever. There's human error in everything. That's why we should go to AI, but give something that Karen can't complain about anymore. But
well, I mean, I guess that is why they pay you way more than me. Because you have to deal with these people every single day.
I don't know, the gap's getting smaller.
Because instantly, because like, if I'm ever put in a situation where it's like they're yelling at us, instantly we're like, all the cashiers are just like, let me call a manager. And then I go in and like, let me get someone up here.
Who do I call? Nobody.
You have to deal with it. You're the end game. You have to deal with it.
Basically. Sometimes you know what's actually the best ones? Are when you actually tell people that their math is wrong. You want to see someone get mad? You tell them that they can't do math. Oh my god, they get so furious. One guy's like, he was trying to do like a swap, and this product was valued at X, and he was looking for Y, but he's saying Z. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, this is what I want because I'm bringing this in. And I'm like, the math doesn't add up. You're looking for something that's not even close to what you'll actually get from this one singular product. But people don't like hearing that. People hate hearing that they're wrong. So I'm like, okay. You know what? I'm gonna get a little bit more aggressive and say you're stupid. Sometimes you have to step in and like that for some reason.
Nip it in the bud.
There's wires going on, and then as soon as you like throw like such like a light little jab in there, it connects and you're like, oh, okay, I see. And you're like, wow, it took me to insult you a little bit. You know.
It's a passive aggressive insult, and and everything makes sense.
Basically, in my time of management, the biggest thing to learn was people. And sometimes you have to learn the best way to jab them without them knowing that you're jabbing them. You have to, like, you know, it's all about communication. they're raising their voice at you. You can't have a lower voice than them.
Yeah.
You have to match their vocal frequency in order for them to finally hear you. Because if I'm yelling at you like this, and yet, you know, Johnny, that's the manager, is like talking really slow, softly, it doesn't work. Yeah. He's not hearing you. He's hearing his own voice. Yeah. And then the more he hears his own opinion, it gets the ball rolling. He's like, yeah, right. Yeah. I'm right because this is all I'm hearing. Yeah. No, you're hearing the wrong thing. Yeah. Johnny's not speaking up. So that's why you got to match your vocal points and say, hey, man, listen, that's not how it goes. Yeah. This is not how it is. This is the math. And then while you're at that frequency, in a sense, you're grabbing their voice with yours and you're trying to lower it. Yeah. To the point where
you escalate to where they hear you and then you de-escalate.
Yeah. A call from Vancouver.
Nice.
We were just talking about that. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, no, exactly. So you have to de-escalate the issue before resolving it. Yeah. Some people, like, you know who I'm talking about, typically increase the situation. They don't decrease, and it's just, they're trying to, like, this is a solution. Well, no. You gotta walk them through it and de-escalate. Yeah. To finally get that end product. Yeah. It's like doing math all over again back in high school. You got to show your work to get to the final answer, and the teacher grades both. Yeah. With communication, you got to show your answer. Yeah. All right. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back after our commercial break. Yeah.
We just have a mid-roll ad.
Yeah, we should do that.
Let's take the time to thank our sponsor, Raycon, for.
Yeah. Thank you, Smart Water, for making me smarter.
Thank you, Tap Water, for making me quenched.
And thank you, Nivea, for keeping my Italian dry lips moist. Man, it's... Okay, there are some things in life you'll always have so much of that you don't need. Yeah. Chapstick's one of them. Really? For me, at least, anyways. Like, some people I know stockpile toothbrushes, hair combs, whatever, dental floss. Yeah. Mine? Chapstick.
Really?
I have an on-person chapstick, an in-car chapstick, beside my bed chapstick, really? Beside my video gaming center chapstick, at work chapstick.
You have one specifically for work?
Yeah, and it's in my work belt too. Nice. And I have one in my work desk.
Really?
Why? I don't know.
Oh man.
I'm probably sitting on like $30 for the chapstick right now.
Could you imagine like one day at work, you show up and you have like a full-on like duty belt?
It's full of chapsticks.
It's just but like different things. Like everything in your pouch moved to an individual thing on your belt.
Oh my god. Like a fanny pack kind of deal?
Like not even a fanny pack, like a police duty belt. Could you like
that's so trashy.
Like your box cutters right here. Like, your notepads like right here.
Flip it, spin it.
Oh man, that would be funny.
That would be. So, what is one thing that you've picked up since all this COVID shit went down? Like a habit, a hobby, or anything like that? Other than spending money on camera equipment?
I've gotten really good at knowing how to apply hand sanitizer. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I've made it a habit. Like every time I leave the warehouse, there's that hand sanitizer station right there. So I just.
Yeah. I've always been like that.
Really?
It blows my mind. Okay, so like when I'm going out and doing things, I always have hand sanitizer on me.
Really?
All the time.
Well, it's a liquid gold now.
Well, you want to know why?
Why?
Because I don't like being sick. I haven't been sick in like 2.5, 3 years.
Fair enough.
Yeah, as soon as me and my ex broke up, I'm like, all the time.
Yeah.
I haven't been sick since.
You just smell like alcohol.
I smell like I have a problem.
Just smell like an alcoholic all the time.
Yeah, like I feel like sometimes the way I smell, I should have started this podcast with "Hi, I'm Brayden. I'm an alcoholic."
I smell like hand sanitizer all the time.
Hence why I have a problem.
No, oh man, like I have hand sanitizer in my car, and it smells awful.
Is it the cheap stuff?
No, but it's like it's sat in the sun, so it's gotten like all watered down and gross.
It's separated.
Yeah. So, no joke, I was like wiping my hands with the hand sanitizer, and Maddie was in the car with me, and I smell my hand. I straight up gagged, and that was like the first time I genuinely like gagged.
Yeah.
Like I was like, and then we both just like I don't even know why. Like it didn't smell that bad.
Yeah.
But like it just didn't.
It wasn't appealing or pleasant at all.
No. I was like, where did that come from? Like what?
Oh.
Yeah. No, it wasn't good.
So other than hand sanitizing and flying, what else have you gone into?
So, I don't know, like I've done a lot of playing music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a lot of that.
Because you play the drums and the guitar. Oh, did you finish the guitar that you were making?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, is it
right there.
Is it that one?
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I give you like $200 for that.
I also built this table.
Yeah, I like it actually. It's very sturdy.
Yeah,
actually, it is actually.
It's actually meant to be a card table, so that's why it's got this right here.
Oh, okay.
So you put the deck here, or you can put it that way.
Okay.
So and I built it square so there can be 4 people sitting around.
I'm an avid rummy player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I play for money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I win every time.
Yeah.
There's a secret to it too. It's called witch poking. Have you ever heard that?
No.
So it's like a German European thing where it's called poking.
Yeah.
So you take a deck of cards, you shuffle it, you do your thing with it, and then you take one finger. And my grandfather used to mutter something in German and then poke.
Yeah.
I just poke.
Yeah.
And apparently it completely curses the deck to your favor.
Really?
Supposedly. I win. So I believe in it.
Yeah. The second you lose, you're like, I didn't do it right.
No, I didn't poke it right. You're supposed to poke in the center. Maybe I didn't poke it quite in the center.
Yeah.
Like at the 40% mark, not at the 50% mark. I messed up. I'm sorry, Grandpa.
Oh man.
But there's also another part that you have to do. You have to actually take that center, like a couple of cards that poke out, and you slide them on top.
Oh.
Yeah, and you have to be the first to grab.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been watching Riverdale with Maddie.
It's so gross.
It's so weird. Like
everyone says I should watch it.
Season 3, out of nowhere, just gets so weird.
Really?
Like straight up, first episode of season 3. There's like demons and like demonic rituals and like this like Dungeons and Dragons knockoff game.
Like an Archie?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
That's so dumb. Why are they doing that?
And then it's got there's like a cult that came to town. It's so weird. And it's like, what?
I don't know, like I watch Supernatural. I love that show.
It's literally like that.
Yeah, you can't copy that.
Like it's Supernatural meets like Sabrina the Teenage Witch meets Riverdale. Like it's not good. And it's like literally came out of nowhere.
Yeah, so you're pitching for right, it came out of left.
Look, we're watching this, and then like it shows this weird thing, and we're like, huh, that's weird. And then it's like it came back next season. We're like, oh, this is a thing now.
Yeah.
This is what's this here to stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ew.
Cool.
I don't like that.
Great.
Like I get it, originality.
It's like
great, but
it's like
to like.
But it was like it's such a stark contrast between the second and third season. That's the issue that I had.
Yeah.
It was like the second season was over here, and like the third season was like way over here. Like it was nowhere close.
Yeah.
To the thing, and it was like.
That's why I don't watch.
Weird.
I don't really watch stuff anymore. Actually, so I will admit I have been watching Norsemen, Netflix. Yeah. Phenomenal show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So have you ever seen Vikings?
No.
So Vikings, of course, like it's named, it's about Vikings and Ragnar Lothbrok, that discovered England, and he did all this kind of crazy stuff, and he was exploring the seas prior to any Viking before him. So anyways, while he's doing all this exploration, he's doing all these different things. He discovers Christianity.
Yeah.
And then in the Norsemen show, they actually do a kind of like a spin where it's a comedy.
Yeah.
It's actually quite funny, and they actually keep to a narrative.
Yeah.
And it's not too like based around mythology or actual fact or lore or anything like that. It's more just like a joke.
Yeah.
It's actually quite enjoyable when you want to dumb down a little bit. Yeah. It's not something that I would watch all the time.
I've been rewatching the Clone Wars recently.
Man, did you watch the final season on
No, not
Disney
yet.
Plus? No.
Yeah. No, I'm
good.
I'm rewatching the whole thing, and then I'm just going into season 7.
I wanted to see what was happening, so I actually ended up on season 7. For those of you who are fans, I'm sorry, I skipped a few episodes.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And like this girl that she meets, which is a mechanic, but like that sub storyline was so freaking boring that like after like the first like 2 episodes
Yeah.
of it out of the 4, I skipped.
Yeah.
And I knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah. Dude, I'm like on the last episode of season 3 right now, so I'm like just getting into season 4.
Yeah.
But it's just
You know what I find fascinating? On like people say like a lot of real world time events happen.
Yeah.
You know, in movies that we watch.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're a conspiracy theorist, okay, like a lot of people say COVID was a hoax, that there's a kind of like a global conspiracy where all the nations want to take down borders and become one unified Earth.
Yeah.
And how it would be ran by one tyrannical leader or dictator or like this organization. Some even say AI, which is whatever.
Yeah.
Like no borders, great. I want to go to Mexico and not pay for it, right? I want to just drive straight down. But anyways, so it's funny on how people say that, and yet you watch something like Star Wars where a huge focus on it, if you look at it as a political standpoint, is every Earth governs itself.
Yeah.
There's no countries or borders. It's just one unified Earth.
Yeah.
And then it turns into how it's ran by like kind of like a council, which gets flipped over and corrupted by the final product of like Palpatine, the Emperor, into one singular tyrant.
Yeah. Well,
It's crazy.
I mean, like each episode is like really politically. Like, like there's a lot of political stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the most interesting thing is like you see like how each planet is run.
Mm-hmm.
It's like very different, but like they're all, it's all okay because they're all sticking to their values.
Yeah.
Like the Mandalore plot, right? They were traditionally a ton of warriors, but now they're getting run peacefully. So obviously there's going to be a divide.
Yeah.
Because
huge conflict.
Because their whole planet was based on like honoring their their past,
religion,
right? So it's just like they're saying like the Death Watch group during that thing was like a terrorist organization, but really they were just standing for
old tradition.
Yeah. Right?
It's crazy.
So it's just like
I don't know how I feel about this. Yeah.
It's like they were painted as a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
But all they wanted was to
just go back to
which they were.
Yeah, extremely crazy because like even when you read the Star Wars books, like I did for a brief moment in time in my childhood, a lot of it like I got bored with it because it was all played through politics, like so-called Sith, right? Yeah. They were like, this whole war thing, it's not working out. Yeah. We lose every time. Yeah. Every time. Don't know how, because like typically a majority of their players are a lot stronger, which I don't understand. Yeah. But they're like, okay, war doesn't work. Yeah. And then as soon as they went to politics, it worked. Yeah. They're like, yeah, we just won't be obviously bad. We'll just like slowly transition to what we want. And then they manipulated the political spectrum.
That's actually kind of funny.
It's kind of scary
because it's like it works to the real world pretty quickly. Like I mean, Canada and the U.S. right now. There's a lot of talk of like Trump is trying to take over. Yeah. Trying to take over the country. He's trying to stop the election to make him run forever.
Yeah. And then you look at the Canadian side of it. We're our leaders potentially looking at doing a whole never-ending stint. Like he was like, do we have to do elections? Because being a minority in the government, you can't have that for long. Yeah. So come November when the elections come up, a lot of the left side of the spectrum is like, do we really need to, or should we just band together and make a unified party? Yeah. Which it's okay, great, but at the same time, like that takes away a lot of right when it comes to selecting who we want to follow.
Yeah. Plus, I doubt that the people would vote for Trudeau since he's made like
Oh man.
all of our country pissed off at him.
Well, look at EI was backed up like a month and a half to 2 months. Like a friend of mine, she's a dental hygienist.
Yeah.
She didn't get onto EI, so she applied the day before her office was closed down because they got a heads up kind of deal by a day or two.
Yeah.
So she applied for EI that day. Dentist office was closed that next day.
Yeah.
Took a month and a half to get on EI.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. She's like, I got rent to pay.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole like Renters Act came in. They're like, how do we do this? Because we said that you'd be making money.
Yeah.
You'd be on EI or anything like that. But
because it's like all the homeowners that were renting out were painted as villains, but it's just like
we got no money.
we got to make money too. Like we get that you can't pay, but we have to make money as well. So it's just like
otherwise you got 2 mortgages you got to pay for, and one.
And their bills are way more than than the renters' bills. So it's just like they really got to make money.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like the overall market was a complete mess.
Well, all the economists and business people are mad at Trudeau because he was just hemorrhaging money.
Well, you look at the CERB too. When you look at CERB with the $2,000, he never like no one came out politically and said, "Oh, by the way, there's going to be like a minimum of a 20% take back."
Yeah.
20%. That's huge.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like all the business people are just like, you're like throwing billions of dollars
down the hole. Yeah.
Right? And then he's now got all the gun owners pissed because he enacted that gun ban.
And
so it's just
and it's funny whether you're for it or not, like we said prior to, we're not going to really go into how we feel about it, but we're just bringing up discussion and points. When you look at it, so the big number that they were throwing around is 1,500, right? Yeah, that's great. 1,500 guns off of the streets. Yeah. Well, they're not on the streets. They're in houses. They're in, custody of, law-abiding citizens. 1,500 doesn't sound that much. Yeah. But 1,500 subcategorized in 3 different categories of, say, A guns. So you look at, say, like an AR-15.
Yeah. There's tons of variants.
There's so many brands, and they range anywhere between a minimum of $850 to kind of cap out about $3,000, and that's not including modifications that people use. Like that's absurd. Yeah. So we're talking about 1,500 categories of firearms that now are banned. Yeah. On average, say because they're semi-automatics, on average they're about $1,000 a pop. Yeah. That's a lot of money. Yeah.
Especially to be buying back to gun owners.
Yeah. Right. And then so the prior discussion before everything that's going on currently, because the main topic of point is defunding police. Yeah. So the prior idea for this whole buyback would be they would take weapons from the gun owners, right? They put it back into an auction system. Yeah. The auction system would basically go to every police department, federally and municipally, and say, "Hey guys, we have X amount of this and that and that. Let's sell it. Right. How much do you want for this? We got 1,500 ARs to the police. Yeah. How much do you want to pay for it?" And they would auction it off. Right. But if we're going to defund the police, there's no auction. Yeah. No auction means no revenue coming back into the federal government's pocket, which means gun owners are profiting off of this, if they are, depending on the dollar amount and the buyback. Yeah. They're profiting off of this. The government's not profiting off of this, and the police are being defunded. Yeah.
Which is already
a huge problem.
Yeah, because they're already they're already losing a ton of money.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's just
like don't get me wrong, like what's going on should not be allowed. Yeah. Like it's quite disgusting to see the things happening, whether it's racially intentional or politically intentional. If I'm going to beat you up because of your political views, whatever it may be, whether you're a carnivore or vegan, who knows? Yeah. Okay, I personally don't care. I have tons of friends that are mixed, right? Yeah. And then you look at that. Okay, we need to invest more in education. Yeah. We need to invest more in mental health. Yeah. We need to invest more in all these things that tie into the education piece of policing. So, should we take revenue away from that, like money away from them, or should we invest and say, hey, you guys need to get your act together and educate yourselves because this is not how things work.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they should put more money into not so much defense tactics and how to, take someone down. I mean, obviously they should learn.
Yeah.
But they should also make a huge disclaimer of safety is the utmost importance.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And the citizens, the victims, the perpetrators, to
it's
the
like,
officers.
Like they're already doing that, but if they ingrain it more, and they just say you can't be a police officer if you're going to be doing this.
And of course we're talking about Canada here. We're not talking about the United States because they're just a slew. Yeah. It's just a mess down there.
The way police officers are trained here and the way they're trained down there, very, very different.
Very different.
Right?
Extremely different.
Like in Canada here, you have to go through a 6-month program before you can even get hired as a police officer. At least the RCMP. 1 year?
Yeah, so it's a 1 year minimum application process and screening. Yeah. And then you go to depot if you're selected for 6 months. Yeah. And then even then, you go through kind of like a trial, like you have to set up a local program sometimes. Yeah. And it's basically like a grace period, like we'll see what you got and we'll see how you act. Yeah. And then if you pass that part, I think that's like a month or two. Yeah. I can't remember quite well, but it's about a month or two, and then they say okay. But you're still on the line within that year or two. So,
well, we're not saying that there aren't racist cops in Canada.
Oh God, no. Yeah.
We're saying that the likelihood of it being the case is very, very. Yeah. It's a lot lower than in the States. Yeah. In the States, you can just say, "Hey, I took this program.
I'm a cop.
Great, you're hired."
Yeah.
Right.
It's so different.
It's a lot looser. It's a lot more loosely regulated. Is that the way to put it?
Loosely regulated.
Yeah. Than in Canada, there's so much stuff you have to go. Don't they contact friends of friends?
Oh yeah, I had to get the contact information of my neighbors. I've had to get contact information of everyone I've worked with, all my employers, all that kind of stuff. When you do was like a background screening. Yeah. Which in itself takes 6 to 8 months. Yeah.
So it's very extensive. Yeah. Just to become,
overall education too. If we were to get away from the police aspect and go straight to education, they're ranked number 27 in the world. Yeah. That's absurd. They're a first world country. Yeah. You look at the United States, then don't get me wrong, it's an amazing country to a degree. Yeah. But their education's awful. Yeah. And then yet they have the most Ivy League schools per capita. Yeah. Canada I think has 3. Yeah. And yet they have way more than that. Yeah. They got all the big names down there. Yeah. Well, why is education so loosely restricted and regulated, and why is it let go to the wayside so much? Yeah. It's awful to see that.
That's the hard part about them for sure is.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's an interesting topic for sure.
Definitely one that we should really be careful about.
Yeah. Possibly later episodes.
You know what? I'm just gonna come out and say it. Yeah. I support everybody. I support all colors. Yeah. I think what's going on down in the States, it's awful. Yeah. Do I agree with burning down businesses and buildings and all that? No. Yeah. Do I agree with what the police did? Oh hell no. Yeah. They cracked open an old white guy's head. Yeah. Did you see that video that went viral?
I think so, yeah.
Where they just they hucked him over and this old guy fell over. Yeah, something like that. That should not be allowed. Yeah. He should be taken off to the side and be like, hey, what do you want? Oh, someone dropped a riot helmet. Great. Yeah. Thank you. High five. Yeah. Go about your way kind of deal. Yeah. Watch out. There's some aggressive people here. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. That's how you would handle it. Or at least how I would handle it. Not get out of my way, I'm going to push an 80-year-old man, crack his head open, and walk by and say, hey, someone call the ambulance. Yeah. No, it's stupid.
Yeah. No, it's just, I don't know, I think, I'm trying to find my words here. I know. It's while I do think that there are definitely racist cops, both in Canada and the States, to say that every single cop is racist, I don't agree with.
Yeah, you're painting a pretty general brush.
I mean, when you say stuff like that, it's not to the same degree, but it is what the Black Lives Matter movement is trying to stop. inequality of different groups of people, right? By saying that all cops are bad, you are classifying them as a group of people that is doing a bad thing. Now, is that the same as saying that all white people are racist? No, not at all. Right? Is that the same thing as like any other type of racial, sexist, like gender specific stereotype? No, it's not, right? And while they did choose that job, they didn't choose to get harassed for it. So I can see the Black Lives Matter movement and I support it, but to a certain extent of
everyone needs respect.
Don't classify every single cop as racist, right? Because I know quite a few cops, and I know that they are not racist, and I know that their squad is not racist, right? So it's that whole mentality of we want to stop inequality between groups, but all cops are like that's
you're generalizing.
It's extreme generalizing that shouldn't happen if you're trying to actively support a movement, right? And it's like, again, it's not the same as saying that, this is a very
touchy one.
A very big disclaimer. It's not the same as someone's, saying a stereotype based on someone's race or gender or even age, right? Like I get called stupid and
mostly by
irresponsible by older people all the time, right? I'm sure you have too.
Oh yeah, 100%. I get. There is actually a thing called age discrimination, and it's a constant, hassle to deal with. Or being actually this sounds really really weird, but like if you go on Tinder, there's a bunch of girls that say if you're not above 6 foot, don't talk to me. And like I actually by the time I start getting swipes is because I put in my bio that I'm 6'2". And that was the time I started getting matches. So it's awful that in 2020 that we're basing so much off of someone's physical appearance rather than their mental capacity. And it's just absurd. Like if I'm old enough where like looking back and watching kid shows. The main topic of discussion, there was a few shows where like people from the future would come back in time and they'd be like, what is it like, right? They're like, oh, we got time machines and we got flying cars and we got this and that. And yet, that was the big topic of discussion, right? When it comes to the future, these are the things that we're looking forward to. In future time, it's crazy to say that we're still having civil rights movements and that we're still not out of the past with this. Like we're stuck. We need to move forward. 100%. We're stuck in the past dealing with problems that should have been dealt with so long ago. But and did you see what happened in Seattle? Or because I sent you the article on how they made their own unpoliced state within the city of Seattle. That's crazy. And like it was like,
how does that work?
So I read it, and a lot of it said that these people. Apparently there's like a ruler, okay? I don't know what the rule is called, but they're like, we have a leader. Okay. Weird. Like hypocritical. We don't want police or rules or anything, but we have a leader. But, so anyways, apparently food and supplies are being shipped in, right? At no cost. If you want it, take it. If you want that, you take that. That's what they do. It's going to get to a point in time where it's just like, you have that. I want that. And then there's going to be a conflict of issue, right? So I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
Just how do they deal with...
how do they deal with normal confrontation, conflict, and all that kind of stuff. I know if something goes wrong in my life, if someone's attacking me or wanting to take my objects or, hassling my friends, to a degree, like, you're going to have to get the cops involved. What happens there, right? When the general rule is take and do what you want, and they're supposed to be kind of like a poster boy of this is what the country could look like if there was no police. They want to completely abolish all police. It's absurd. It's crazy to think like that.
That's crazy.
To have no level of any sort of
enforcement.
Whether it's mental health enforcement or anything like that. It's huge because like a lot of crimes are committed, or a lot of calls that they deal with are mental health induced. So why not have an educator going out there and making sure that we're doing what we need to do to handle the situation properly, so you don't hurt someone without intentionally hurting. Or maybe that's what that perpetrator's trying to do, is intentionally be hurt. Because they're not in the right mindset. So it's unfortunate.
One thing that I'm actually surprised about is the fact that the RCMP doesn't really have body cams yet. I'm surprised by it.
Yeah, you can buy your own.
Yeah.
Like I looked into that. Like if I was to get in, I would wear a body camera.
Yeah.
Not for
your own security.
Yeah, I would say it would go both ways. Like it would be the security of myself and also the security of other people. Like there has been incidences where, like down in Texas, one cop was actually potentially charged, but thankfully to his body cam, all charges were let go because he arrested this lady on a DUI. He made sure that she was comfortable. Like she got into the car. He made sure that she was able to seatbelt herself because she wasn't a risk to him or herself. So he's like, hey, like I don't need to cuff you. Just get in the back, put the seatbelt on, you're good, right? And then thankfully to that body cam, because the next day she walked out of the precinct, turned right back in, and lodged a complaint and a charge of, I think it was like sexual assault or something like that. And her story was the officer took complete control of her, assaulted her, and then detained her and then arrested and so on and so forth. But thankfully to that body cam, it showed a completely different story. Stuff like that can happen. So that's where it's for your security and safety.
And body cams don't lie.
No, it's like right there.
Well, like if you spot a body cam on the cop, don't lie, because it'll just come right back. It'll come right back.
I'm sorry, you said this. No, I didn't. Click. Oh shoot.
I did say that. No.
Yeah. Darn it. You got me.
Yeah. Oh man.
But
yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. You having fun yet?
I am.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for almost 2 hours.
That's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
We have a lot of stuff that we've covered.
Yeah.
All about ourselves.
Yeah.
Personal lives, stories, all that
stories of interesting work.
Yeah. We should ask for maybe like comments on like what people think.
Yeah.
Like comment below.
Actually, how about this? If you have a topic that you want us to cover, just let us know.
We'll research it first.
Yeah, we'll do our research. We're not hypocrites going in with no research.
Yeah, we'll go into it and we'll do the research.
Yeah. And
then we'll have discussions.
Yeah.
If you want to, we can set up kind of like a debate where one person would hypothetically go with one side and the other again with the other side, and kind of have a miniature debate.
Yeah.
Keep all personal opinions out of the circle, and we'll just go in it completely neutral, and we'll just talk about it and discuss it.
Yeah.
Like what we talked about in the very beginning of this podcast. We're not here to, try to influence anyone on our personal opinions. We're not trying to talk about our, biased opinions. We're just here to have a discussion, have fun with it, and talk about things that, typically we should talk about. We're adults. Like these things affect our lives and your life, and if you think that they don't affect your life, well, then great. They probably do, they probably don't, but it's just topics.
And I mean, like, there's a lot of things that we can talk about.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like there are so many things.
Yeah.
I mean, we're intentionally keeping this podcast very open.
Yeah.
To pretty much any topic.
Oh yeah.
Just for the sake of having things to talk about, and it's not like one specific thing that So it's just like I mean, I think that anyone should feel free to question someone's opinion, whether it's right or wrong, right? I mean, I think just being able to question it is a good thing. So
well, it's a luxury, like the power of free speech is a luxury that we fortunately do have. There are some countries where you're not allowed to think one thing, and it's just like, why not talk about it? We have this opportunity. We have this thing saying, you guys can talk about it, just don't be hateful. So let's take that route. Let's run with it, so let's have a blanketed conversation about whatever. So, you look at like podcasts like Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Phenomenal podcast.
Yeah.
He talks about literally anything,
Yeah.
and he questions it. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not join that?
Yeah.
Right?
There's the H3 podcast as well.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
HWMF.
Yeah.
You know, they're two meatheads talking about politics, business,
Nice.
life, all that good stuff. They're
Yeah.
and they're two trades guys.
Yeah.
You know, so like if two trades guys can talk about whatever, then
Yeah.
why can't two business guys
Yeah.
talk about whatever?
Yeah.
Only makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's good right there.
All right.
There
Well,
you go.
That's the first episode. I hope that you enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Brayden hopes that you enjoyed it as well.
I had a fun time.
Yeah.
You had a fun time.
I had a great time. So stay tuned for more episodes. We'll be posting a bit more on our Instagram.
Yeah. So you
it's-
want to throw up your hashtag?
Yeah.
Your hashtag, your at.
Mine's right here.
And mine should be like right here.
Yeah. There you go. And then our show Instagram is right here. So just go follow all three of those.
Yeah, make
And,
sure if you want us to talk about anything, we will do everything
Yeah.
and anything to talk about whatever. Content's very important, whether it's business, fitness, legislation,
Yeah.
politics, if you want
Economics.
economics.
And nerd stuff as well.
Yeah, I love talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, so do I. All right. Well, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys later.
But
Look at that.